Hey guys, I'm here to do a very brief review on this book, which is a testimony by Halina Wagowska. I can never pronounce her name. Okay, so I have given this book 5 stars. I have a review up on Goodreads, which I'm going to post a link to because I know with my own words that I won't be able to really express myself as fully as I can with words on a page. Okay, so this book is a memoir, and it is written by Halina, who is a survivor of the Holocaust, and it is written in kind of, not chronological order, I guess, because that's what a memoir is, but it's written in flashbacks as well. It doesn't just go from the time as a child, it jumps in different places, and I really think that was refreshing because I've read a lot of books and it's been chronological, and it goes from the time that they were children to the time that they were adult, and I guess the space in between gets very intense. Now this book does get very intense, but it's so fascinating at the same time, and I really just love Halina's just resilience and fight and her strength, and you can really feel that with pretty much every chapter. And what I also liked about this book is that it's not like slap your knee funny, but it has some really warm humour in it that really just brings you home, and it's not so dark. It kind of reminds you about the beauty of humanity and friendship, and that there are some people in this world who are very compassionate people, who believe in human rights, who support that, and will go above and beyond themselves to help people. And Halina is one of those people. Now, reading about her story in the camps was just really horrendous for me, and it was kind of like, a train wreck where you want to read, and you have to read because you have to know, but you have to stop as well and just take it in and look at it as well. You have to look at it, like, even if you don't want to. And I think that's important. This is one of the reasons that she wrote this book, the testimony, so that you can't hide from it. You can't hide from these incidences or experiences, and you have to educate yourself, and you have to make sure that people are educated about these things so that they don't happen again. And there's mass murders all the time, but never to this extent, never to this meticulous planning and things like that. And I had no idea, like, when I first learned about the Holocaust, my idea about it was basically, these people got sent to the gas chambers and they'd had slave labour and stuff like that. I never really knew the extent and the brutality and just, again, the resilience of these people, the people who survived, and all the aspects as well that you probably don't think about, like the religious aspect and what Jesus meant to them, and how a lot of people lost their faith. And a lot of people nowadays, when they read about it or experience it through books and televised interviews and things like that, they kind of have to question their faith as well, because they think, how could a God do this to so many people, and how could these people do this in the name of God? So that kind of aspect, even though I'm not really religious, it was really fascinating to me. And a lot of people do, they've just left their faith. They don't have any God or anything anymore. They just sort of believe in existing and surviving. And I don't think Halina so much found God. I think she just found a passion, and she found life after the war and after what happened to her. And you read about what happened to her and you just feel so sad, and that's just a very vague word, but you just feel it in your whole body when you read these kinds of stories, especially Halina's. Losing a family and losing love, and her whole life was taken away from her, and then she had to just start a new one. And in today's society, you have to wonder how resilient people would be if this was to happen, and we don't want this to happen. But I guess this is why I like reading these things, because I like to see people growing and continuing to enjoy life and to live and not just survive, because I could not imagine with my whole entire life and being what that would be like. And I have been in personal relationships where I have had a lot of my rights stripped, a lot of my time stripped, a lot of my basic needs stripped away from me, and I can kind of connect with that on that level, which is why I think I feel so passionately about this era. And so I will be probably most likely reading a fair few books over the next couple of weeks which deal with this era and the Holocaust, because it fascinates me. So I am reading a lot of other books as well. I'm making my way through Anna Dressed in Blood. I only just really started reading it. Every time I sit down, I just can't read right now. Especially after you read this book, you're probably going to want to take just a couple of days to absorb it. I would really recommend you read this book, but honestly, just take a couple of days to really take it all in, because this is not one of those books that you're just going to fly through and be able to put down and say, yep, I read it, it was fantastic. You really need to take it in and accept it and embrace her story as well. So yeah, I'm reading a couple of things at the moment, and I'm hoping to get maybe one more Halloween-y type book in before the end of the month. I never intended to pick up this book this month, but it happened, and I'm glad it did, because I've learned so much, and that's part of my life, so that just happens. Sometimes I get a little bit obsessed with things, and that is one of them. So definitely pick up this book. It is by, I'll just hold it up to the thing. And all the royalties from this book go towards a Just Society Fund. I'm also going to put the link to that. You can donate to it, but by also buying this book, you are also supporting that cause as well. And I believe it is an Australian cause, but if you guys are wanting to donate money to a really fantastic cause and that deals with human rights and etc., definitely go ahead and do that. I will be buying this book for sure, because even though I read it, I need to read it again to just take it all in again. So I hope you guys can hear me. My voice is slowly dying. I had a late night last night, so fun times. So if there is anything you want to know about this book, let me know. I'll try and put the Goodreads link below. It doesn't have any actual synopsis, so that might be a bad idea. But my link to my review will be in the bottom bar as well. So I hope you pick this book up. I really do. Please pick it up. It is fantastic. It is just mind-boggling and wonderful. And I'm so glad that I picked it up. So I shall see you guys later. Thank you to my new subscribers and my old. And I shall see you probably after the weekend. Okay, bye.